Hello everyone, Auvbri here, and I am here in The Sims 4 building a very exciting build. Now, as you can probably tell by the time stamp on this video, it is quite a long video. So it is actually a two-part video, but I am building a kind of condo apartment inspired build here. Of course, it will not work that way as a separate apartment build, but it looks really cool, and it also gives me a chance to be creative with different types of apartments on the same lot. So we're just building the roof here, and as you can see by now, one of the buildings is only a one-story building and the other is a 2 stories. And the reason for that is because I wanted to have like this these smaller apartments, with only one floor and like this 1-bedroom apartment, and then I wanted to have like this these bigger apartments, condos, whatever you want to call them, with like 2 bedrooms and stuff like that. But this video is only going to concentrate on the exterior of this build, just because this build was so massive, and yeah, you're gonna see why. I love what I did with the roof here, to kind of try to, when you see it from above, it kind of looks like it's like a zipper or something. What you can see here, like you could kind of push them together, but like they are ripped apart. And in the middle here, we're gonna have little front gardens for every single apartment, condo. I'm not actually sure what to call them, but for the sake of this video, let's just call them apartments, even though it may be condos or whatever. But as you can see here, 4 apartments on the one side and 4 apartments on the other side. So 4 single bedroom apartments and 4 2-bedroom apartments. Now every apartment has a different layout of rooms, and that was also something I wanted to do to kind of make every apartment seem different. But the general placement of things like the doors out to the back, where every single apartment will have their own garden, is going to be placed roughly about the same place, and the front doors and windows is also placed roughly the same place. Another thing is that all the staircases for the apartments where there's 2 stories is also placed the same, but the general layout of the rooms is also different in this side of the build, and that was also something that I wanted to be very clear. But upstairs here, I tried to fit a bathroom and 2 bedrooms up here in every single one of the apartments here. So yeah, it was quite a challenge because you want it to look different but also kind of feel the same, like it is from the same block, but yeah, just general room layout here. Now, as I said before, every single apartment is also going to have its own little garden to the back. Every garden is also different because I thought, it's kind of like these block buildings, and it's something we have quite a lot here in Denmark, where you have like your apartment and then you have like a space in the back that you can do with as you want, a garden space. And it was inspired by that. So you can also see here every single like of these little openings. What are those called in English? Oh well. You can see here they are all different styles, just because I wanted different styles for every single garden back here. Also because, you know, people have different tastes, and that is something I also wanted to be true here in this build. So just these different openings, and kind of every garden is kind of combined by this tall white fencing, which can be, you know, you can put hedges and stuff like that up against it to kind of make it a little bit different. But we're just blocking in the front gardens for the different apartments here. Also, all of these are gonna be different. The general placement is almost the same, but you know, it is different. Every front garden here is different and has a kind of different vibe to it. Just so, you know, I try to do it as different as possible, and I think it worked out quite well. So yeah, these little squares here are where I'm gonna put the smaller trees, just to kind of bring in the greenery in this build. Also because, as you can see here, it is quite, it's like this gray block of house. Now I'm gonna put in some whites into the build as well. Every place there are windows and doors, there's gonna be this white, but I wanted the trees to be in the middle of this here, just to kind of break it up, and I think it looks really, really cool. In the screenshots you can see it, and I also just think it's such a cool idea. Now, actually, when I started to draw this, I wanted to make sure that I was the very first to do something like this, you know, in this scale. Now, I have seen that people like Delicacy has done like a build for her for her Sims family, like based off the Sex and the City characters, but this is something totally different. You know, it's just like, it's much bigger, and it's kind of like, it's different in some way, and I think that was a really, really cool idea as well, to kind of make it different this way. Now, as you can probably see here, I've removed the trees from the middle, and it was just because I couldn't see what the hell I was doing. So we've just put in the front doors here, and as you can also see, every front door and front windows are the same, just to give it this kind of united vibe to it. United vibe, is that something you can say actually? United vibe, to give it like this kind of vibe that it is the same kind of block apartments, but you know, as I said before, every apartment inside is different. So yeah, we've just started to do the front gardens here, and also every front garden is also different to every apartment entrance. And I also thought that was a really cool idea, because, you know, as I said before, people have different kinds of tastes, and I tried to do as much I tried to do as much variety as I could in these front gardens, and also in the back gardens, as you're gonna see later, to kind of give it a feel that different kinds of personalities actually live in this build. And I thought that was a really, really cool idea, to do these smaller front gardens beside every single entrance to every single apartment, and I think it works really, really well. But as I did it, I kind of saw the limitations to shrubbery and stuff like that, because some of the shrubbery I just don't like, and some of the flowers, I think some of them are just so ugly or so big or have like a weird shape, and yeah, some places it kind of the flowers go again, but I don't think that's a negative thing. So we're just putting in the mailboxes here because, you know, every single apartment wants their own mailbox. Now, I'm not actually sure if these mailboxes will disappear once you move a sim into this house. Maybe like only one will be there, but I have closed down the game and then come into this build again, and all the mailboxes were there, so it should be good. Just doing some lights here in the dark to kind of see how it would look, and also I chose these kind of squared little lights as you can see here, just because I thought they kind of fitted the vibe I was going for the best, and you know, that's all you really can ask for. So here in the back of the build, I decided to do these trash cans because, you know, lots of trash is probably gonna come from this builds or the residents of the different apartments. So I put in 4 trash cans and then surrounded it by this hedge. That was a difficult word. Surrounded it by these hedges to kind of make it look not so dirty and, you know, like trash places probably do often. So we've moved onto the backyards of the different apartments here, and just choosing some different places to put the doors and windows for the back here. Also, again, all the same doors and windows, just because you know, symmetry and stuff like that. It just works better in my mind if everything looks the same. Now there is this little small diagonal or no squared window, but that's because that room is actually a bathroom, so I didn't wanna, you know, have it like a big window in there. But we've moved into the garden here. Again, I use the same kind of flooring for the gardens in this whole build as I used for the flooring in the middle of these 2 apartment blocks, just because I thought that was the best looking one. It was the one that fitted best for me. And of course, you can't do with these gardens and apartments as you want to if you decide to download this build. This is just my taste, and a lot of different tastes should come out of this build, because as you can see, we have like 8 apartments that I have to furnish later on in the next part. So that's also why I chose to do this in a 2-part build instead, because it just turned out so massive. And you know, I don't want to upload videos that are like 50 to an hour long. It's just too long in my opinion. You know, 30 minutes is kind of my limit for one video. So yeah, one of the gardens is done here, and this garden here, I decided to just put in these kind of planting boxes for your sim to kind of enjoy, just because I know that some people actually like to have their own like vegetable garden and stuff like that. I tried to put some trees into the backyards here, but they were just not big enough. The yards or the trees were just too big for it, and the kind of only tree that would fit in here was this kind of tree with the like ball-shaped bushes on it, and it's a very cool tree, but I would have liked to have like a pine tree or something like that instead. So yeah, some of the backyards here also have some small pools, instead of like greenery and stuff like that. It does have some greenery, but I just try to do as many different styles of backyards. Damn, I'm so sorry. I'm tumbling in my words right now. I tried to do as many different style of backyards as I could. There we go. Got it right. As I could. So again, it kind of feels different and different tastes per different kind of sim and stuff like that. Different personalities all around. This backyard is also gonna have a pool a little bigger than the one next door, but you know, they use their space in a little bit different way. So I put in a kind of dining table here with a umbrella, just because it's always sunny in The Sims 4. Gotta love that. I would actually love some sun right now. It's actually very sunny right now here in Denmark, or at least where I live, and it's just been so cold and such a crappy weather with rain and wind, and oh my god, it was getting so annoying. And finally it's sunny and it's actually quite warm outside, so that is great. I've actually put this little sign out front of this build, just because I thought, you know what, people might wanna see that this is kind of maybe this kind of apartment block would have like a name to it, like the Willow Apartments, or let's actually call it that, Willow Apartments. This is the Willow Apartments. So yeah, we've moved on to the backyards for the smaller apartments here. Again, 2 pools in 2 of the gardens, and the 2 other gardens are gonna be different as well. Some planting boxes here as we did in the other garden, just a different kind of style here. Putting in these kind of purple flowers. I actually love those. Maybe my favorite flower in this game. I love how it looks. Just, yeah. So, yeah, I think this garden is just pure flowers, and that is actually it. I don't remember if I did anything else with it, really. Nope, I don't think so. Just terrain painting it a little bit with the kind of dirt here, and going back to the other gardens just because I forgot to do it there, and it just brings a lot more realism to your gardens when you do that, so that's why I did that. What else can I say here? Okay, those flowers are used there, like the orange ones, also one of my favorite ones in this game. I don't know why, they just remind me of a flower from my childhood, that, you know, those flowers where you could pick it up, but then all of their like leaves would fall off it, and it was so I can't remember what the flower is called. Oh well. We've moved into the last backyard here. Just put in a table with some, you know, outdoor chairs, and just doing some more terrain painting here. And here you can see it from the above, and I think it looks really, really cool. So yeah, just doing the last I lost the word. Just doing the last exterior decorational items here in the front, and this sign, as I said, the Willow Apartments, we've decided to call this, is the sign for that. So we've jumped into the pictures here, and this is just one of the pictures for the different kind of apartment entrances or front gardens, whatever you want to call them. I think it's such a cool idea that every single front garden is different and has like its own feel to it. Here, the back of it with the trash cans. This is the gardens in the back. This is the gardens for the big apartments or the larger apartments with the kind of flower boxes here, and this is probably one of my favorite gardens. It's simple and, you know, yeah. The smaller apartments gardens here, also very simple, but all of them are different looking, and I think that's such a cool idea. So yeah. And the flower garden here with all of the different kinds of flowers, and just some last shots from the above where you can kind of see the whole lot. And I think it's such a cool idea. I can't wait to furnish this. So that's gonna be the next episode. But thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please leave it a like, subscribe if you haven't already done that, and share it with your friends. Be sure to stay tuned for the next episode that will be out next time, and I will see you next time. My name is Auvbri, and have a fantastic day. Bye.